So, Hateful Eight, we're back onto that, I guess. I'll lead it, right now. Hateful Eight, I think, was pretty good. It's pretty much a whodunit, and it's set in a Western setting.
You don't any spoilers in this bit?
We'll do that. We'll say spoilers before we
spoilers.
No, we're not doing spoilers.
There might be spoilers.
No spoilers unless you don't know what a film is.
To watch...
Anything we say is a spoiler, though, technically, right? Because
no.
Yeah.
If they show it in the trailer, it's not a spoiler.
But someone might not have seen the trailer.
No, that's
what
about blind people? You might have heard it.
Yeah.
If you heard this, or you felt it in Braille, or whatever the people do.
If for any reason you care enough about films not to have seen the film or the trailer by now...
you just go into random films and go, that sounds good.
Instead listening to three idiots make a podcast about that film, then there might be things you haven't heard about Hateful Eight in the next 20 minutes.
Spoilers, the title.
And the last, I'll put it in, I'll edit...
Because I said there was a carriage and there was some people in it.
If it's a carrot.
Spoiler!
I'm going to have a stock voice of me going spoilers and I'll add it in
whenever we start.
Well, none of this happens.
Don't worry,
in
I'll
the
edit.
film.
I'll edit it heavily. I always do.
No,
the last one
this
I've
is
edited.
good.
Cut out all my bits.
Yeah.
She has great insight in Tom Hardy and Michael Fassdick.
I'm flipping a coin over whether I take out the scream that Eden put.
Leave it in.
But I need to put a warning in, saying like headphone.
No. Just
turn your volume down.
Slow the sound a bit. It's fine. This is off-air topic. Okay, so in the film, what happens is they get to the house cabin, and there's 9 of them. Even though it's called the Hateful Eight, there's 9.
Well, it's technically 10.
10 there is actually 10. I was thinking about it.
You can't even direct a fucking film.
He can pretty well, I'd say.
It's his 8th film though, and that's why it's called. I think that's why it's called the Hateful Eight, because I didn't see the bit.
Because it's really hateful.
I didn't see the bit where it said it's the 8th film because I went to the loo.
Here we go. Non-spoilers. We're going back to non-spoiler talk. We sat down, and the film was about to start, and he goes, I need to go to the toilet. And instead of going down to the bottom of the screen and leaving, he walks all the way back, goes through the back row, so everyone in the back row's like, oh, excuse me, and he goes all the way down. And I was just sitting there like, what the fuck are you doing? First of all, make sure you take your piss before you go to see the fucking film. And he was like 2 minutes before he was like, oh, I need to go piss. And in front of everyone. And then when he comes back, he could just go around, and I'm on the end of the row. I'll just move out the way. I'm fine with that. It's cool. He goes to the other side, and he goes past like 7, 8 strangers, and he's like, oh, excuse me. At that point, the credits were still going, but I found that fucking funny.
It's a good job because the credits lasted like 15 minutes.
They take forever, and there's like usually in a Tarantino film, the credits come up and there's great music. Like Django has pretty fun sort of music. Tarantino, what's it called? Pulp Fiction has pretty cool music. And it's like it was famous for its soundtrack and all that stuff. I'm still fucking talking. And then
fucking do, mate.
And then in this one, it was like it's dull.
Music.
And
no, hold on. They played Silent Night.
They
played Silent Night on the piano.
Did you see that bit?
A Mexican man plays Silent Night on the
piano.
Yeah,
that was pretty funny.
And it's his alibi.
Yep, that is exactly his alibi. Yeah.
Spoilers.
Okay. We're in the spoiler. We're back in the spoiler section now. A Mexican man plays a piano.
Okay, there's about, since we didn't really explain, there's about 8, 9 people in this house.
10.
And one of them, Samuel Jackson, who's a bounty hunter. We haven't even said who the cast are.
Yeah.
Kurt Russell plays the hangman.
Bounty hunter.
He's a kind of bounty hunter called the hangman. So he always catches them alive if he needs to.
Yeah.
And then there's a whole bunch of other actors who I recognize. Oh, Tim Roth's in it. He was in the Hulk film. Man. The good Hulk film. And he plays a British fellow.
My favourite character.
Michael Madsen's in it, and he's in a few Tarantino films like Reservoir Dogs, and he's
the sheriff, the potential new sheriff.
No. He's he's the one who buys those sweetie sticks.
Oh, the cowboy.
He's kind of like the cowboy, yeah.
The man with a potato head.
And
an actual potato head.
I like Michael Madsen, even though he's an alcoholic.
Yeah, but he does look like a potato.
Because I can respect him more. And
you relate. And
there's a few more people. And each of them have there's like a Mexican guy, there's an old Confederate general, are you looking at Michael Madsen?
I can't remember his face.
He's
him.
And then
he looks a bit like Qui-Gon.
There's a guy who's a new sheriff who meets him in the carriage at the start. He doesn't look anything like fucking Qui-Gon.
Qui-Gon.
Oh, I mean Qui-Gon.
Not Liam Neeson.
What Taken? All right. Schindler. And then there's other people.
There's
no, hold on. Oh, there's a guy who does the carriage, the coach driver.
OJ. Old, no, it's old.
You've just fucking seen the film.
Yeah, but his name's very peculiar. It's Old Joe or something.
And then someone else.
Old
I'm
B,
missing
Old B,
someone.
Old B.
Who else am I missing?
Oh, the
woman?
the woman.
Oh, with the woman, of course. And there's
I
a
only saw
woman.
half hour
And
of
there's the
film
old
and I
man who
remembered.
dies.
I said the Confederate guy.
The general.
Confederate general, yeah. Okay, and at one point, at a certain point in the film, he dies, that guy, because Samuel
general.
Jackson's teasing him, saying his son sucks his dick.
Yeah,
Which
in
is
an
pretty
attempt
funny.
to get the general to pull his.
Gun out so he
Gun
can
out.
shoot him, sort of thing. He gives him a gun, and he's like walking away, having his drink, and he's like, "Come on, I want you to pick up the gun so I shoot you," sort of thing.
Yeah.
And he does, blows his head off. I guess he doesn't blow his
Yeah.
head off. That's a very specific other scene.
The
But then at that point, the film sort of cuts, and that was the intermission, and that's
Yeah.
kind of like the halfway mark. And then after that, someone poisons the coffee. You don't know who it is, except the woman knows because she saw that take place. And then everyone starts coughing up blood.
that was very deep, that moment. I thought that was quite clever. It was kind of a bit harrowing watching these two men kind of
Throwing
vomit
up blood.
blood. Yeah.
It's pretty like you don't
It was
expect
good.
to
It was good. Yeah.
And then
I think it was cyanide that did it because I saw a Power episode where they explained the effects of cyanide on the insides of someone's.
I didn't care.
Right.
It was a nice tincture though, wasn't it?
It was. Yeah. I thought I liked the soundtrack for that bit.
Tincture.
The general, because the new sheriff likes the general, they're Confederate buddies. But then as
Yes,
soon as the
they're
general
both Southern,
dies,
so
the
they're
young
both-
Confederate just kind of takes his coat and doesn't seem to care much.
Yeah,
I thought that was a bit weird.
I found that kind of weird. Like, I was like, oh, so I
That's
thought like he
another
was
day.
gonna like take his like he was like, you've killed my friend.
Yeah.
But he never says anything about it. Maybe it's because his son sucks his dick.
Yeah, maybe now.
Maybe because it's a law thing. I don't know. But
There's a lot of swearing in it. It's not a very PG film. It wasn't 18. The first 18 I've ever seen, actually.
yeah,
I still got ID. I still got bloody ID'd. Showed him a
did?
ticket for an 18 film. I had to show ID for getting a fucking Carlsberg
He got ID'd for beer.
in the intermission.
You're adorable.
I'm in an
You're
18.
adorable face.
He's too young for me. I'm
My
6 years
driving
older.
license face, which is very.
You don't.
Is it adorable?
I look very squinty. I look
We
like
did a review on his face.
Chairman Mao.
It's the exact same.
I look, I'm like I'm trying to be angry.
You do look angry, but it's
Doesn't most people?
it's not a terrible driving license photo.
No, it's not. I think it's quite good. It's not like Lizzie's, where all the hair's falling off one side
All
of her
right,
face.
viewers. If
Yeah, but
whatever you
women
imagine
have-
Nick to look
Yeah,
like,
no,
a
no.
lot
he
more
looks a bit
issues.
like that, but more like a dick. Okay, so in the end of the Hateful Eight, pretty much.
This is at the end, Helen. We
okay.
said the end of Hateful Eight.
God, it
A
has
Mexican
a
fails to
flashback.
kill someone.
Okay,
Yeah, yeah,
so
yeah.
they line up the last three people, Samuel Jackson and the sheriff, because they trust each other for one reason or the other, which I can't be asked explaining. And then they say, at least two of you are involved in this, because you're a dickhead, and you're a dickhead, and you are also a dickhead. So he shoots the Mexican because he thinks it was funny. And then has a
No, he knocks
flashback.
his head off.
And
His head goes
twist, Channing Potato shows up, and he's all like, I'm going to save my sister, and I'm going to hide in the basement.
off.
And he shoots Samuel Jackson's balls
Yeah.
off.
Samuel
It's pretty
Jackson's
good.
balls go through the fucking
Do you remember the
roof.
Mexican guy when he shoots him in the head and his head actually
Yeah,
explodes?
yeah, yeah.
That was
he
pretty
puts
sweet.
2 bullets in the guy's shoulders, and he leans over and goes bang. His head just explodes.
It shows it explode, which is always good to see a head explode.
And that
in a film.
Mexican man was only going like pow, 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 and fails to kill this one fat black guy who's running out
He'd
the
do
door.
a cut of just the action shots, and then I'd watch it.
What, like
Yeah,
when
you
we
would
talked
love
about
it.
when we talked about
If it cut off the first, if you're not our audience, if you're like Helen here and you don't like slower films, I think
I can deal with slow films. I can't
Can
deal
you,
with
though?
this.
I don't think
Tarantino
if
film.
you can deal with 2001: A Space Odyssey, you can deal with this film. If you can only deal with, I don't know, films made in the last 20 years which are quick, like Dark Knight
Transformers
Rises, for
1.
example, that's not a slow film at all. I don't think. I think that's too
Dark
quick.
Knight. Which
almost.
one's that one? Is that the
Bane.
first one? Oh,
Bane.
He's
no.
amazing.
That's fine.
It's Tom Hardy.
That
I
has.
couldn't stand his voice.
Oh, all right.
Oh, man.
It's.
We're not
very
getting into
angry.
this.
I would say skip the first 45 minutes and just start off at the cabin, because
you probably can. Yeah.
you can. If you've seen it before, that's probably the best way to do it. I think, because the first chunk is just to establish characters and a few of their backstory a bit, but when they get into the cabin is when you see the character development a bit more. And
So why didn't he just make the film like that?
it's not
Why
because
did he waste all that time filming?
Yeah, what a
not
waste
a
of
waste.
film.
What a waste
Yeah.
of film.
I liked it. I thought it plodded along very nicely. Instead of being one of these rampant. You know, there's sounds everywhere, and I'm rushed off my feet.
I don't care about that though. But it's just so boring.
It's like Speed too.
Oh.
Cruise Control.
Yeah, nothing happens for the first. You know,
Let's
whole
not
film.
compare this to Speed 2 Cruise Control. That film's fucking bad,
I
except
like
for the bit where
Speed
the
2 Cruise
boat
Control.
crashes into land.
Yeah, I thought it was really cool. That's the first time I swore in front of my parents, and it was an accident.
I remember
right.
I called my brother a donkey raping shit eater because I heard that in the South Park movie, and I was, I don't know, about 12, and my brother said that in front of my parents, and we got in trouble. I always remember that because that's a great insult. Donkey raping shit eater.
Talking about the length of films though, 3 hours, right?
3 hours.
182 minutes.
I watched The Wolf of Wall Street yesterday. Amazing. I loved every minute of it. So why can he direct a film like that?
Oh, that's different. That's a Scorsese film. Scorsese is a very different director. He's very quick and he's an old. He's also
it was
old-fashioned.
interesting for the whole film.
Yes,
Well,
but The Wolf of Wall Street isn't accurate in terms of financial banking.
It's based.
tediously
No.
inaccurate.
It is based on the actual guy's buck. It's not really based on his life so much.
Yeah,
so that's
well,
why I haven't seen that film, by the way.
It's good.
I'd imagine seen a lot of Scorsese films. It's very sort of quick paced and sort of it's dynamic and
It's very
this film's very slow. It's very much on angle sort of shots, unless there's a shot from underground and it's like whoa, Dutch angle.
And too much snow.
I don't mind that, but you're right. If you're not into that sort of film, I can understand why you would hate it. After an hour and a half, people walked out of the cinema. A few people did anyway.
Yeah.
And I can imagine they were not they were thinking like a Tarantino thing. Like Django is really quick paced, and it's so well shot. Like each shot's like got zoom ins and pullbacks and the crane shots, and you kind of go, you don't know, you might not notice it, but you watch and you go, I don't know where the film's going because the cameraman is constantly changing. So it's like a subliminal message of film language where you kind of go, okay, I don't know where this is going.
Yeah,
but this film is so much like it's like shot, reverse shot, close up, close up, close up, close up, reverse shot. And I was a bit like, it's a bit boring because Tarantino is generally quite good at that. I find his later films. Even like there's
being boring, yeah, I can
No. Like Inglourious Bastards, I think there's a great scene in it where the beginning of Inglourious Bastards is fucking tense. Like you could cut the tension with a knife, and it's like the Nazi guy who's played by
my favorite character.
The Colonel guy. What's his fucking name? Oh fuck! Look it up. I want to know now. He comes into like a French little house in the country, and they're just talking, and he's changed his language, so it's in English, and he's like chatting to him, and
hello.
What's his? Who's
Quentin
playing?
Tarantino.
No, Christoph Waltz. Right, Christoph Waltz. Yeah, and he's great in these sort of films, but he's you understand like he's like doing all the book checking, like for Jews, and you're like okay. And he's trying to, and then slowly you understand why he changes the accent, why he does this. The camera angles are very creative. The more you watch, the more you understand the subtleties of the camera work. And that's such a good scene. And it's quite boring the way it's shot, but at the same time, it's very clever. And then there's another scene where it has like a big crane shot of all these people in a party, and it goes around and it shows more people at the party from a different angle. And it's almost like a Goodfellas shot, if you've ever seen Goodfellas by Scorsese.
I can appreciate camera angles and stuff, but
just camera work. No,
yeah,
it's all just like and just follows someone and it goes around.
That.
I mean, this film didn't have any of that, which is what I agree with you on that. You're right, especially the carriage. I can't imagine being many exciting angles in a carriage.
Well, no,
when
that's the thing.
conversing.
Like, he just didn't start. If it was more interesting at the beginning, I would have watched the whole thing.
You're right. If it start like Django, I don't think there's much excitement at the start, but there's like shooting at the very beginning, and it's quite creative and fun, and also funny as well at the start, even though it's quite bloody
if there was more action at the beginning, like not loads, just something to keep me interested.
Yeah, it has
and
to
then
start
it can
with
get
something.
Boring.
A good example is what I was saying before, Dark Knight Rises. A great beginning with Bane. He's in the plane. All that's really good. And then there's nothing
like
for a long time.
Batman.
That's fine.
That
can
works.
deal with that.
Because it gets you go, oh, okay, what is this?
Yeah, and then you
watch
carry on
it.
watch it. I could probably sit through the film if it started like that. But...
It's like Man of Steel. It starts shit and ends shit.
Hey. The Quentin Tarantino films have always supposedly got to have the famous shot from the back of a car boot or looking out.
Yeah, there's always those sort of shots. Like
Was there one in this?
No, I think there's only his earlier ones, in all fairness. Like his crime films. Lactating. Sorry, I just wanted to say that because I know someone who doesn't like that word. Lactating.
I know someone who can't say digestive.
Digestive. That's me, fellas.
Moist.
Digestive.
Moist cunt. Moist
Moving
lactating
There
cunt.
There was something else I was going to say.
Moist lactating cunt.
Do you like the theatre, Helen?
I love the theatre.
Theatre.
Because
Do you mean the
I
cinema?
thought the theatre,
Come to the theatre.
as in
As
a
in
stage
West
play.
End.
Ah, okay. So
The
it's
Brian
stage.
Blessing, something like that.
I love the theatre.
Because I thought the beginning of the film could have been done in a theatre, and I quite liked that.
If I was in a theatre watching that, I probably would watch
Have
it.
you ever seen Journey's End?
No.
I played the Colonel in Journey's End. I also played Sir
Why
Toby
would-
Belch in Twelfth Night, as well as a nurse
But the
in
theatre's a
Equus
different atmosphere.
and a horseman.
You're right.
Yeah,
you can't
no, it is.
walk
The
in and
raw
out of
degrees, the smell of paint, it's completely different.
Like,
The sweat, ooh, grizzly.
you're watching it actually happen right there in front of you. It's beautiful.
This film could easily be set in a playhouse.
Yeah, it could
I
because
probably
it's
would have loved it if it was in a theatre.
well,
tell you what, if
except
they
the
cut off
blood,
the carriage-
kind of the brains everywhere. That would be.
That's fine. They could just cut some of that gore. That's Tarantino gore, I think.
Yeah, it's like, bam.
It just makes you remember it's a film and it's pretty.
The poisoning would have been easy.
Yeah. I did see King Lear in the Globe when in London at one point. And I remember he pulled a guy's eye out.
Go there.
And he pulls the guy's eye out. It was like, and he went, "Ugh," and all his blood hit the stage. And I was like, ooh, hello. Pretty good. You could still do the blood.
Yeah, no, yeah. Well, you can't know very clever stage
It's
tricks
really
to
bloody.
do them.
However, the battle at the end was pretty rubbish because it was like a bunch of people going,
Yeah.
and I was like,
Well, that's the end of Macbeth done on stage. It was very awkward because there's a big battle, a huge battle between the fucking Scots and the pansy English.
That
Aren't the-
fucking Scots
aren't they
dog.
all Scottish?
No, because it's the southern. At the end of Macbeth,
Okay.
Macduff's son goes to find
Malcolm!
Malcolm goes to
that
find.
right?
I think so. Goes to find the southern English king on the border, who's being like, "Oh, Macbeth's land has gone to shit. The owls are being eaten by mice, and the horses are eating each other." Because that's what happens. The world goes upside down when Macbeth takes over. And he says, "Oh, we'll go and invade. That's what we'll do." And then there's meant to be this huge battle at the end where Macbeth was eventually slain.
With the forest moves.
So, yes. No, it does that. Yes, the forest moves when it's the troops go. And on stage, it's always like
Spoilers
five
for
people.
Macbeth!
5 people. Yeah, if you haven't seen it in the last 500 years.
You've
at
got
the end of
500
Macbeth-
years to catch up with Macbeth.
At the end of
dickhead.
Macbeth, and on
Bloody
stage,
Chinese.
they're just kind of whacking each other with foam mallets and stuff like that.
Wait, what?
Well, it's always really difficult to portray
Big-
a huge
big
battle.
inflatable
and
hand.
you're-
Right, guys, can we do a Shakespeare episode?
Oh, we
do we have to
should.
talk in
Please.
Shakespeare?
A thespian.
No, but we can review all the film and
And
What, like-
twas
TV that's come out.
my
based
right,
on Shakespeare.
enter Helen and Doug, followed by Bear.
Yeah, please, can we? Because I've had to
So-
sit through a fucking Tarantino podcast.
Ah.
I'm gonna make you sit through a Shakespeare.
We're not even
podcast,
doing
'cause
a
I feel like you'd
Tarantino
enjoy
podcast.
Shakespeare.
I'd enjoy Shakespeare.
It might as well be a Tarantino podcast.
We've barely spoken about the other ones.
Or the other.
We've
What have we
spoken
done?
about-
We've talked
we've
about.
barely spoken about this.
We've
film.
talked about David Bowie. We've talked about
The
some
Chinese,
Chinese
for
man.
some
We've talked about
reason.
J-pop,
Dongs.
and we've done a lot on. We have done a lot on Quentin Tarantino.
We have. So,
Understandably, because his new film came out.
So
You Hateful Eight, if you
Shakespeare.
haven't seen it.
Don't
it's out
throw
in
your
cinemas.
fire at me.
Ginger Rage.
I think we need a proper studio without any flamethrowers.
Help me, audience. She's trying to burn me. She can't hear this because I'm whispering. Well, it's okay. Well, okay.
You're
China
the
Potato
duck
shows
leaning
up.
into
His
the
head
mic.
blows up. Samuel Jackson is blown up in the
Yeah, we
balls,
know.
and everyone. Then the woman gets hung at the end.
We
They
know
don't
it's
shoot
a
her.
shit film. We
Hold on, how many
know.
ships do you give?
I give 0
So
shits.
Helen gives 0 shits.
There's
for the
nothing
Quentin
redeemable
Tarantino.
about this film in her eyes.
No, until
You
I
did laugh at the potato death.
did.
I'm gonna give it out of 10. I think
Okay, I'll give 1 shit for the potato death.
that's pretty good death in all fairness. There's a cat in it which disappears. That was one of my questions for you. What happens to the cat?
When does the cat come in?
When they have the flashback and the Australian lass is like, "Hey, crikey, mate, let's get the bag out the back."
I don't remember.
I think that was my
at all.
Australian accent.
I don't know.
Uh,
The cat probably died in the winter.
Well, it showed the cat. It's the same day.
Yes, but the winter moves
See, shit
fast.
film.
Maybe it was licking
Move on.
Samuel Jackson's balls on the floor that had been
Probably.
blown off.
Picking up all the bits.
What did you
left
think
over.
about the guy walking when he'd been shot?
Can you just
what
give
with the
some
chair?
shit?
He's like shuffling around. I was like,
I
heard
thought
you
that's-
laughing.
yeah, I was like, pain.
funny, man.
No, I thought.
What did you think about Samuel Jackson at the end when he's in the bed?
Stop! up!
Oh, when he's writhing around in pain with his balls.
He's like sitting there going, no, slow-mo Samuel
Oh,
Jackson.
yeah. Every time he talks, it's kind of like a slow-mo
It's pretty
way
funny
to get
because
you
he
this
tries to
feeling of
shoot
him.
someone. He's like, and he's out of bullets. He's
Yeah.
like, oh shit. It's pretty funny actually.
And then she goes over, cuts a man's arm off with a machete.
Oh fuck yeah, that happens, doesn't it?
Yeah. And I
That's pretty good because she like pulls it off, she falls over.
It reminded me of that
Can you
bit.
give your shits now, please?
Oh yeah.
Should I just give it a rank? I
Yes.
actually
Yeah,
do
yeah,
give
yeah.
it
Out of 10. Out of 10.
4.
4.
No, I give it a 7.
7 out of 10.
6. I give it
6. Fucking hell.
6. I give it a
6 out of 10. And
I'm
I
measuring it
give
out
it.
in my head.
I give it a 7 out of 10. I quite liked it.
I liked it. It's not Tarantino's
Saying it's the
best.
only other film I've seen in the last week is Olympus Down.
Olympus
Rave
Fallen.
reviews.
Olympus
Olympus
is
whatever.
tripped.
Olympus is
Tripped
Olympus has downs or something. Awful film. What's next on the agenda?
What, hold on, is that it? Are we done with the
I
thing?
don't know. Is this the end of episode 2?
Um,
Decide. Email us in at why does
Yeah,
this exist
I'm tired.
pod at
You're
You're
gmail.com.
always tired.
Let's have one in the fucking morning.
We've got to do
guys.
one
That's
early in the morning. We've
because-
got to do one when you get up. It's got to be Helen's up.
No,
podcast.
I'm tired then as well.
Oh,
you want to catch me at like 7, 8 o'clock?
What, in the morning?
No.
We need
evening.
to. Well, I'll stop the
I'm
podcast
most
now.
productive.
Oh, let's do an
Hold on.
ending.
Okay, well. Oh, the radiator's on. Okay,
So that's it.
Okay, we'll just go. Alright.
What's
What's
the end?
the what's
So
the
that's the end
university?
of the film, I guess.
That's the end of the podcast.
No, we do plugins at least.
You have
plug-
been listening to
Hold on,
Helen
are you
Blankthorne.
up to going to watch any films this week? Or are you going to do anything this week? Or anything like that?
What am I doing this week? I've
So I've
got
got a film I'm gonna
2
watch.
job interviews. Oh, actually, yes, I do plan on watching episode 4 of season 1 of House.
Oh, fucking
Because
House.
we're watching House again with my
Yes.
girlfriend.
I'll tell you something I've watched.
That's so good. Are you loving it?
Oh, I always do.
Remember
It's
last-
so great.
Yeah,
Remember
he was
last
okay.
week I said I don't like Parks and Rec?
Yeah.
I kind of like it now.
Oh,
I'm like
for
4
God's sake.
series in almost.
I need to
I'm
watch
3
it.
series. I actually, it grows on you. I don't think it's funny.
Like a
I don't like
disgusting
almost
mold.
any of the characters.
Apart from
Chris Pratt's fucking great. He holds it up by himself. And some of it I'm kind of like interested in. And then I'm like, every time Chris Pratt's in, I put my sketchbook down and I watch it. And I'm like, alright, he's done. Back to sketching.
I'm gonna watch Supernatural.
Do you like that show?
I've never watched it. I'm gonna
I've
watch
seen
it.
one episode
Oh,
of
is
The
this
Scary
one of
Clown.
my doting girlfriends?
Yeah,
Like Ruby?
she likes it, doesn't she?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I've been
told
forced to
it.
watch it out of the corner of my eye.
I've been told to watch it by at least 3 people,
Oh, okay,
which means
yeah.
I've got to watch it now.
Well, I also watched The Babadook this week.
Oh,
Which
yeah,
I
yeah.
fucking
Well,
loved.
we're going to talk about that in a future episode. You'll hear us talking about
Maybe a
the
Halloween one.
Babadook.
I fucking loved it. Did I say that I liked it before?
Yes, I think so.
Fucking loved it. It's proper good. But I'm gonna watch another horror film I was recommended called something. Hold on, let me remember what it's called. Walking Towards Me or something. It's called.
Do you want to see The Boy that we saw the advert
No,
for?
I don't want to see that. It looks like it's gonna be full of jump scares, and I fucking hate jump scares.
There
Have you
is
seen the
films
advert for The
out.
Boy?
No.
Oh, It Follows. The film's called It Follows. That's what I
Wait,
want to say.
isn't that the STI ghost?
That's right. It's about
Yeah.
a sex disease ghost.
Yeah.
What happens is, it's like what I know is, and what she knows is, people have sex, and then they're cursed, and a thing will come towards them, and it just keeps walking towards them, and she has to get rid of the curse and pass it on by having sex with other people.
That
And
sounds quite. That sounds very good, actually.
it sounds bad.
It
But-
sounds pretty fucking bad.
Well, no,
Apparently,
but
it's really creepy, and I really want to. Because I mean, I was recommended The Babadook by someone who was I regard knows what a horror film is, and since that film was
that
so
is horror
good,
film, yes.
and they said this film was also quite good, I was like, you know what? They've got me with that.
Well,
They
yeah,
got me at hello.
Well, we'll watch that together because horror films are always better.
What, do you want to watch it
Please.
with me? We can curl up in bed, just like we did in this film.
In the cinema.
In the cinema, hands underneath the blanket.
Yeah, I didn't realise that they did,
Toss me off.
double beds in.
Well, we
views.
just used a popcorn box.
Dude.
No one will know.
And my
Dog,
jacket.
this popcorn's a bit.
This has gone very sexual. Hold
Oh
on.
dear.
Can we not?
It's become an X-rated podcast. I'll cut this bit.
No, don't worry about it. I don't mind it being.
And
a
now you'll listen to the end of the podcast.
Oh my
Oh.
god, don't
Do do do
grandpa's
do
out this
do
month.
do
I
do
don't-
do
I
do
don't
do.
Oh, shouldn't we, like, give our emails?
50 Shades of Black.
Oh yeah, the sequel. Oh no, it's a comedy, isn't it?
It's a comedy.
It's a fucking comedy. Didn't we go for this last time?
Oh my god! Kung Fu Panda 3 is out at the end of this month.
I
Oh,
fell
no, hold on.
asleep.
There's a lot of
Life
big films coming out this year. There's
Life,
Superman vs
mate.
Batman.
I'm talking about this month.
Yeah.
This month.
Oh, this month. Okay.
Well, this is
Because-
January. This is where they bring up the garbage.
We're talking about what we're going to watch in the next few weeks.
I won't see any of them. Once again, I'll not see any of them.
I'm going
He
to
doesn't
see
get
Kung Fu Panda.
invited to any of them. His girlfriend doesn't want to come.
Yeah, remember?
Kung Fu Panda 3.
And go to the cinema too.
Who's coming with me to see Kung Fu Panda 3?
Oh,
I
I
fell
didn't
asleep
see
during
the
the
second
second
one.
one.
I haven't seen the second one.
I really liked it, but I fell
Am I
asleep.
going to have to go alone?
Well, we went alone together.
Guys.
This one.
Oh
had a
man,
little mandate.
don't do that. I wouldn't mind, but I don't want to go pay for it.
We'll do our. We'll discuss this off camera.
Yes.
We need to do the plugins.
Alright.
You have a camera?
I'm...
Oh, who is he with the camera over there? Get out of here!
I'll plug
Oh, he's
Douglas Branscombe illustrations.
You'll plug what? Sorry, what?
Plugging Douglas Branscombe.
Oh, hello. That's a recommendation.
With his
viewers.
illustrations.
Which you will see actually on the art cover.
Yeah. If you listen to this on YouTube.
I've got something I'd recommend as well. It's Douglas Branscome's illustrations and the like. It's so good it gets recommended twice.
Yeah.
And that's on Facebook, isn't
It's
it?
on Facebook.
There's a Facebook
Oh,
page,
yeah,
you can
it's
look it
on
up.
Facebook.
One of us, I'm sure, has liked it. So if you search us,
Probably both of us.
actually
don't
don't
like
search
it.
us.
I think
It's
you're
just
all
me then.
shit.
It's just me. It's just me who likes that one page. Me and my mum.
Yeah.
And that she doesn't even know what fucking Facebook is.
Yeah.
And
And
what
I'm
you?
going to plug the Chinese government because if they ever do take over our podcast, I want
An
them to be in
image
good
of the
spirits.
SS on your he's
Still on your
Better than
dick.
Wanda.
No.
That sounded like it.
We could go back and listen to it, and
You've got an image of the SS on your dick.
I'm going to recommend my SS dick.
Well,
I'm going to recommend Fast Dong.
whenever
I'm going
you
to
know-
recommend Tom Hardy's dick
Oh,
from
hello.
Bronson. You want to see him get all lathered up in a prison cell and have his dick
I
flopping
do.
around?
I do.
Well, I tell you what, I know a film for you.
God. That's Bronson.
It also has It's a Sin.
Yeah.
It's
doesn't?
a sin.
It does, doesn't it?
Oh.
Do-do-do.
We're going to plug the Pet Shop Boys because
do
if we
that.
don't, we'll be copyrighted.
I'm going to recommend What Dan, or whatever it was called,
Oh,
Wonder Group in China. Why? They're my favourite. I'm going to recommend Shy Pig. I've got so many
Shy
recommendations
Pig.
this week. Shy Pig wine.
What's this?
It's not the worst.
if you want to live like the kings that we are,
Schweppes. Should we plug Schweppes?
we're plugging Schweppes, pretzels,
Douglas
Penn State
Branscome's
petrol.
illustrations and the like on Facebook. Oh, someone else said it.
LG phones, a camera that we've got on the table,
Desks in general, pretty good.
desk,
Chairs are pretty good. with
IKEA.
sound
Yeah, we know this was quite
What the
comfortable.
fuck are we
Plug them
doing?
chairs.
How much have you had to drink?
Don't know.
Too much.
This is like a bottle of wine now, I guess.
Okay, cue outro music.